Hello everyone and welcome back to Rebel Brick. Today we're changing things up a little bit. Locally we have EAA, which is Experimental Aircraft Association, going on this week. So I wasn't thinking about it ahead of time, but I thought about it, seeing that we kind of hear the planes overhead and all that. I'd kind of take our space theme, which is going to go up this Thursday, and I figured, hey, why not kind of do a little nod to EAA going on. So here we are. So I've got a bunch of planes set up here, and we have our main characters, which, you know what, I can't remember the name I was going to give our main character, but we have D7 with her. I know I wrote down what her character name is supposed to be, but I can't remember her character name because we've been jumping back and forth between different characters and trying to keep everything all straightened out. But we have our main character here, which is our main pilot, and she was in a tanker the last time we saw her, but I'm going to push that back to maybe next week or so. This week I'm going to kind of reshuffle it, so that way we can do a little nod to EAA going on. So what I was able to do was I was able to grab some of the planes that I have that are not hanging, and here we are. We have a bunch of planes out here, so it looks like we have something going on in the distance. And as I back this out a little bit so you can kind of see, we have, this is an old, a couple older sets. We have a stunt plane. So it's a little, I think that was like a $10 stunt plane from our Indiana Jones. We have that plane. This is from a friend's set from one of my daughters. She picked that one out herself. This is a slightly modified, that was a 3-in-1, and I think I had the wrong propellers because I was trying to make a space plane out of it, which I didn't do very good. So if you notice on the back side, it is a slightly modified, so to think that you could run like the props in the atmosphere and maybe the space engines out in space. And then this one, geez, that goes back a couple years as well. That's a Coast Guard seaplane, and it actually comes with like a little Sea-Doo or whatever. And then I've got a couple of helicopters. The first one is from a train set. That's why, if you really notice, it's got a chain on top. This is a police set. I have another police helicopter. That's my big one. And then this is a medical transport helicopter, and that's from an older set already, a couple years old. They've been sitting there on my little street, collecting a little bit of dust here and there, knock all the dust off. So, and the characters that I have sitting around, if you kind of recognize them, there's our pilot here. There's the pilot from the stunt plane with one of our Star Wars, Arazing. We have Omega and Hunter sitting there. This gentleman is actually the pilot for this plane, because the idea for that plane was he was an adventurer. And if you look up inside the cockpit, if I can lift that up here, there it is. You see a map there. So he's got like a treasure map. He's trying to hunt for treasure. I don't think there's anything in the back, but that's what we got so far. And this is going to be shot in a couple different sequences. So as I get things out and I put it back and I bring something else out, the next theme I was thinking of doing was more of our normal space, so like a couple shuttles and that. And then I was thinking of a couple Star Wars ships. So this is where we are. So I have 2 pictures already. I'll take the pictures first, and then we'll get the speech bubbles in, so it'll all be in here by the time we finish. So we have D7 and our main character, and I'll make sure I get a name here. And then I had them moved over here so they can look over at the helicopters as I really speed this across, and then we'll go from there. So, all right. Okay, and then we have our space kind of set. So we have some of our small ones, and we have some of the bigger shuttles, just kind of our traditional space shuttle. These were Mars shuttles. I've got 2 of those that are together. And of course, then we can have some fun. We have a Star Trek shuttle. And then we also have our 3 Skyhawks. The 1 actual Skyhawk and the 2 modified versions of, I don't remember what they call them, but there were another 3-in-1 set that I modified. And then I have our figures, and they're going to walk all by this. Like I said, EAA is a big thing, and it's a fairly big place. So Here we have a little bit more for them to walk by, and we got a second photo, another 2 photos out of this. So I'm limited to 10 pictures that I can put up. So we're going to try and see what we can do to fill all of this out. All right, and then we have the next shot. As we look around, we have kind of a TIE fighter. Anyone remember that from Buck Rogers from back in the day? Snub fighter. We have a B-wing sitting here, or not a B-wing. Actually, it is a B-wing. Yeah. My mind's going. It's getting late. We got an A-wing, and we have a small transport. So we'll have our characters kind of sit through and go through here. Alright, and then for our final couple scenes here, we will have our heroes here, and they're going to see freighters. So we got a Lambda shuttle, we got Krennic's shuttle. We had to throw this one in here because everybody knows Slave One. And then from the Solo movie, we have the Solo version of the Millennium Falcon. So whatever we end up calling it is fine. And we'll just kind of go from there. But I'm going to have this opened up. I already got the picture of it. But I'm going to have this opened up. If I can do this in the correct sequence here. Because it's got to be opened in a certain way. And we're going to have them play cards right here on the table. And we're going to have our hero win a couple ships. So we'll see how this turns out. Of course, I'm not going to give her Slave One because it's a little too iconic. And I think if I give her a couple other ships, that'd be pretty cool to begin with. And let's not get too greedy. So, but I was kind of thinking maybe the Sentinel. I called it a Lambda before. It's the Sentinel shuttle. Krennic's, and then the Millennium Falcon, the Lando version of the Millennium Falcon. So we'll see about that, and then whatever else we get into. But it gets us something here, and that will be this week. Maybe tomorrow. I'm hoping tomorrow we will start working on like an aftermath, and I figure for building safety, we may end up having a plane crash into our factory, and then we'll have some hijinks out of that. So with that being said, I hope you have a great day. See you next time. Thank you for visiting, and keep bricking.